What's up, guys? It's your boy, Saskatoon. The world is going to end! But when? How? And why? These are questions that people have been trying to answer for a good couple of millennia now. And so far, everyone has been wrong! Well, of course everyone's wrong. If you crack open your nearest Bible, Jesus specifically tells us that trying to predict the future this way is a waste of time. Matthew 24:36. But about that day or hour no one knows, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father. So no man, angel, or even the Son of Man. But the Bible doesn't say anything about Sasquatches, which means I'm perfectly qualified to answer this question once and for all. So when will the world end? Let's find out. One popular method of predicting the end of the world is taking an ancient civilization's calendar and figuring out when it ends. Remember 2012? That was the year the ancient Mayan calendar ended, and people lost their minds. But were the Mayans really trying to predict the end of the world? Or did the guy that was making the calendar just get tired and stop? I mean, this thing spans thousands of years. I'd say 2012 is as good of a stopping point as any other. But all of this raises an interesting question. When do our modern calendars end? To answer that, we need to consult our good friend Unix.
It's a Unix system. I know this.
On Unix systems, time is calculated by counting the number of seconds since midnight, January 1st, 1970 UTC. So to figure out when the world will end, we need to figure out just how high this number can go. On modern computers, this number can go all the way up to 2 to the power of 64 minus 1 minus 1. And that number is big. Like, incomprehensibly big. Like, what the fuck? Well, that's a comforting thought. Everyone watching this video will be long dead before the world even comes close to ending. Yippee. Yippee! But that doesn't make for very good clickbait. Maybe I'm missing something. This number only applies to modern 64-bit computers. On older 32-bit computers that haven't been updated yet, this number can only go up to 2 to the power of 32 minus 1. Minus 1. Or a little over 2 billion. 2 billion might seem like a big number, but when you're counting seconds over the span of decades, it's really not. It turns out, 2 billion seconds from 1970 puts us somewhere around here. January of 2038. That's right, folks, 12 years before the end of the world. So be sure to head on over to my website and buy my Apocalypse Survival Kit, featuring dehydrated Gatorade for nutrition, a solar-powered taser for protection, and a Bible, because this would be an excellent time to make peace with the good man upstairs. Order now. But wait a second. I'm not the first person to realize that 2038 is going to be a problem. There's a Wikipedia article about this, for crying out loud. Computer experts have known about this for a while now, and they are all, for the most part, human. So 2038 can't be the end of the world because then that contradicts what Jesus said. Shoot! Well, back to the drawing board. So we already talked about 2012, but actually the world ended 1 year earlier in 2011. At least, according to Mr. Harold Camping. He's really good at predicting the end of the world because he's done it so many times. But May 21st, 2011 was perhaps his most infamous prediction. So how did he come to this brilliant conclusion, you might be wondering? Well, according to Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia, Camping dated the Great Flood to 4990 BC. Using this date, taking the statement in Genesis 7:4, 7 days from now I will send rain on the earth, to be a prediction of the end of the world, and combining it with 2 Peter 3:8, with the Lord a day is as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years are as a day. Camping concluded that the end of the world would occur in 2011, 7,000 years from 4990 BC. Camping takes the 17th day of the second month mentioned in Genesis 7:11 to be May 21st, and hence predicts the rapture to occur on this date. Well, kudos for showing your work, but I have some bad news for you. So when May 21st ended up being a big ol' nothing burger, Camping updated his prediction to be October 21st. You'll notice that October 21st is 153 days away from May 21st. And that's no coincidence, because they caught 153 fish in John 21:11. Oh, so that's why it was wrong. He forgot the fish number. You never forget the fish number. Rookie mistake. But I still have some bad news for you, though. So this is another popular method of predicting the end of the world. Just going through the Bible, picking out random numbers out of context, and using those to calculate a date, somehow. I can do that. Okay, so the date will be December 11th, because there were 12 apostles, and then only 11, after Judas did something that Google deems to be very advertiser unfriendly. The time will be 3 p.m. That's the same time that Jesus died. The time zone will be UTC, because God likes standardized time formats. And the year will be 2436, chosen for no particular reason. And bada bing bada boom, we have a date. Although that is still pretty far into the future. If I want to sell my survival kits, I'm gonna need some more urgency. Okay, let's take 2436 and subtract 77 times 7. That's the number of times we're supposed to forgive our brother. And now we'll subtract 13. That's the number of apostles counting both Judas and Matthias. This gives us 1884, which is obviously incorrect, but watch this. Are you ready? Are you sitting down for this? We're gonna add the fish number. You thought I forgot about the fish number, didn't you? Oh, I wouldn't dream of forgetting the fish number.
What the dog doing?
We add 153 to 1884, and we get our new year, 2037. And now, we have our final date. Actually only a month away from the 2038 problem. So I guess we were pretty close the first time. I'm telling you folks, you're gonna want to head on over to my website and buy a survival kit before it's too late. These things aren't gonna last long, and neither will you if you're empty-handed. Order now! You know, math and science are hard. Which is why the most popular method of predicting the end of the world is just telling people you had a vision. It's easy, it's straightforward, and no one's going to question you.
That's a nice argument, Senator. Why don't you back it up with a source?
My source? Try God. You're not gonna question God, are you? Now, thinking about everything that we've learned so far, it's unlikely that God is just going to straight up give us the answer. But still, it doesn't hurt to ask. F it, let's just ask ChatGPT. Okay, time for Plan C. Okay, bear with me on this one. This is Temple OS, an operating system created by Terry Davis, a genius programmer who unfortunately suffered from severe mental illness throughout his entire life. He created Temple OS because God told him to, and God had some pretty strict system requirements. 16-color graphics, single voice audio, no networking, RAIN 0 only. It's the third temple you can burn onto a CD-ROM. It's a fascinating project and a fascinating story that unfortunately does end in tragedy. But we're not here to mourn. We're here to get some answers. It's what Terry would have wanted. When you boot up Temple OS, you'll see a window showing some helpful keyboard shortcuts. One of these shortcuts is F7. When you press it, you get a random word. And another one. And another one.
Another one. Another one. Another one.
You see, these actually aren't random words. This is God speaking to you through your personal computing device. And now, it is up to you to decipher his message. If you successfully decipher the message, great! If you don't, hell's that way. Happy trails. You can also press Shift F7 to get a randomly selected Bible passage. Huh. I wonder what God's trying to tell me. What?
Huh?
Man, predicting the end of the world is hard. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe the easiest way to predict the end of the world is to cause the end of the world myself. You can't get much more accurate than that. And so, one trip to Temu later, and I now have everything I need. 600 megatons of TNT, 20 death rays, an aerosol can that's absolutely decimating the ozone layer. This stuff wasn't cheap, but that's okay. We won't have to worry about credit card bills where we're going. So when will the world end? December 30th, 2025. That's my final answer. Prove me wrong now. Wait, when was this video uploaded? Son of a...